Final story, Colin, is the Lions. You touched on this a few moments ago. They were in need of a pass rusher after Aidan Hutchinson went down, and they finally got one. With Detroit trading for Browns defensive end Zadarius Smith.
Good player.
He's not in his prime anymore.
No, but could he get you a sack in a playoff game?
In a playoff game?
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's like the old Von Miller. When he was with the Rams, he got you a sack plus every playoff game. He's not Von Miller. But I think this is the right move.
Yeah, this is not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, they gave up nothing.
They gave up nothing for him, and he can make a big play on a big third or fourth down in a playoff game. That's all you're getting him for. He's not a game wrecker like Hutchinson or T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett, but he's a good, solid pro.
Again, I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not going big game hunting. Maybe they think, hey, this isn't just a one-year shot. You know, we're going to be good the next few years.
That's exactly what they think.
But is Ben Johnson? Is he going anywhere?
I don't think Ben Johnson wants to be a head coach. We got into this yesterday. I was thinking about this driving home. Not all guys that are two want to be ones. They just don't. Not all people.
Wait a minute. Hold it, Colin. Let's just hypothetically say Ben Johnson's making
$2.5 million.
$2.5 million a year as an OC.
Yeah.
And who's the team that needs a coach? Let's say the Raiders. Well, the Raiders don't have any money. They're broke.
Well, let's just anybody.
Anybody. Ben Johnson, we will pay you $6 million. We're going to almost triple your salary.
What if he's got
to come be our head coach?
Kids in a nice private school in the burbs in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, gorgeous neighborhood, doesn't want to disrupt his family, doesn't like dealing with the press, doesn't want to deal with a salary cap, doesn't want to deal with crap.
That's possible.
There is nothing wrong being the vice president of Pepsi for 25 years. That's a great American life. Because they're not firing that guy. Yeah. They get rid of the CEO.
Well, we got to find out what Ben Johnson wants. And here's the interesting, Colin. I don't see him at the podium ever. I don't see him doing it. I don't know anything about this guy.
That's right.
Which I kind of like.
That tells you he doesn't like it.
He's a behind-the-scenes guy?
He doesn't.
Unless he's hiding something. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, like Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know Cliff, but I know many people who know him. He did the head coach thing. When he went to USC, he said, I don't want to do any recruiting. I just want to coach Caleb Williams. He loved it. And when Dan Quinn hired him, he said, Dan, I just love offense.
Right.
And by the way, the reason Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury are working, and I was told this by my buddy Steve Keim, who hired Kingsbury. He said Cliff's personality is more coordinator in the NFL. College, different. But in the NFL, when you have to be sometimes the tough guy and discipline, he said Cliff's not comfortable in that. Doesn't make him less of a coach. But some guys, they love that authoritative position, and some guys like coaching ball.
So Kingsbury is unique because didn't he cash out pretty big when they fired him?
Yes.
He made like $20 million.
Yes.
That's generational wealth.
Single, he's done.
So he doesn't need to. Now, Ben Johnson hasn't had that big payday. Do you go get the payday? Who's the guy who went to Carolina? Matt Rule. Got a huge contract. They fired him quickly. He could do whatever he wants for the rest of his life.
That's right.
And he decided, I'm going to go coach Nebraska, right? That's
he's a better college coach.
So, like, you could go wherever you want, do whatever you want. You got generational wealth. Like, I don't know. Ben Johnson doesn't have that, but that's interesting. The Lions are not going after more.
That's right.
Because I'm just telling you, there's a scenario where January rolls around and this defense is just getting trucked by McCaffrey and company.
Yeah, let's
maybe even Kirk Cousins, your boy.
Maybe they trust their offense so much they don't worry about their defense because their offense will dominate time of possession and the defense will always be well rested in playoff games. My guess is their feeling is our offensive line is so dominant. We will dominate time of possession, and our defense is only going to be on the field, even against good teams, for 24, 25 minutes. We're good here. Let's go get like a B edge rusher who can help us, make us better than we are today, but give up nothing long term because Hutchinson's coming back.
That's a good point about the offense because it's almost like Montgomery's like the jab in a box. He's just
and then
jabbing,
Gibbs is the home run guy.
And then they hit you with Gibbs, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
There's a really well-built team. Their GM, Jerry Jones should throw like all the money at him. Just come on, build the Cowboys up because the Lions.
Brad Holmes is great.
The Lions are awesome.
All right. I mean, first off, J-Mac saying that the Lions, he needs to be concerned about Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. Christian McCaffrey, 49ers, right? I can see that, right? That at least logically makes a little bit more sense. But no, the Lions are clearly the best team in the NFL. I mean, just look how the Chiefs struggled to beat the Bucs, and I know the Lions lost to the Bucs. I mean, what was that, like week 2 or week 3 or something, when the Bucs were clearly or when the Lions were clearly not really playing at their highest level of 100%. This is technically like the best version of the Chiefs right now, and they needed overtime to beat the Bucs. The Lions played the Bucs when they weren't at their best, when they were, they had all of their starters not playing preseason and whatnot, and they were sluggish. And now the Lions are just absolutely on fire. So I think this is a great pick to get Smith like this. I would like to see the Lions do a little bit more. You don't have to mortgage your future to try to win right now, because the Lions are thinking, the next 5 years or so. And it is interesting. I think the Lions, you never know, right? But I think the Lions are also, they are considering Ben Johnson, right? They're not dumb. They do understand how important Ben Johnson is. But so I do wonder if they have a feeling of whether or not Ben Johnson is going to leave or not. You don't ever truly know. The only people that really know are Ben Johnson and probably his wife and maybe like best friend, right? No one else in that building, right? It's just, you keep that stuff pretty close to your vest, because the repercussions have such massive impact. So the CEO doesn't really tell the CFO, hey, I'm looking for a different job right now. I might be leaving. Like those things like have devastating consequences. So no one really knows, right? We can all guess and speculate all we want, but the truth is nobody knows. Nobody knows. So I'm not even interested in even having that conversation anymore. I've had it enough with people in the comment section, because the Chicago Bears apparently want Ben Johnson, right? The Cowboys want Ben Johnson. Like everybody wants Ben Johnson. So I'm just worried about this year more than anything. But the truth is if you have the team this year, you do want to play for this year, because you have no idea what next year looks like. You have no idea if you get cluster injuries. You have no idea if Jared Goff goes down, if Gibbs goes down, right? Like you have no idea, but you only know what is happening today, right? So yeah, you do want to continue to improve your team, and I wonder by the time this is going to get, I'm going to post this right away. So I wonder if they'll continue to make, more moves or not. So if they end up doing that, this statement might be already dated by then. But if not, like, I think this team is clearly incredibly dominant. This is obviously an offensive forward team. And, I think they look what they can do offensively. I mean, what they're able to do right now, no other team is able to do. Not the Chiefs, not the Bills, not the Texans, not the 49ers. The Ravens are the closest offensively, but they're kind of inconsistent, and they're more reliant on Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, right? That offense is way more reliant on those two players. Don't get me wrong, they have a couple other weapons as well, but that's the main core. The Lions, it's just one player after another, right? You could just keep going. Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Gibbs. I mean, like Montgomery, you just keep going and going and going and going and going. Not to mention, you have the Ben Johnson, you have the offensive coordinator. So it's also the play calling that is elite and the game plan that is elite. It's the offensive line, it's the trenches, it's the physicality, it's the preparation, the dedication, the discipline. It's not one single thing. There's not one single engine, right? I mean, this is a truck that somehow has like 15 different engines that are just roaring. So that's what makes this team so unique to me. And that's why I think like this is the year that they absolutely undeniably have the best chance to win the Super Bowl. Again, I'm not saying that they can't win the Super Bowl next year or the year after, but this is the year to get the job done. Like I already said this before, that if the Lions don't win this Super Bowl, outside of course, like crazy injuries, it's going to be on the Lions. They're not going to go up against a team and just be like, that team was just better than us. That team was just better than us. What could we do? We didn't have the firepower. It's just not true, right? Like the Lions are undeniably the best team to me. And so if they don't win a Super Bowl, if they don't make it to the Super Bowl and knock out whoever is coming, from the AFC, it's on the Lions, right? All of that pressure and responsibility is on the Lions to get the job done, right? I mean, I really think they could have won the Super Bowl last year, and they shot themselves in the foot, It was on them for why they didn't close out the 49ers. And then to think that run game wouldn't have been able to have a field day against the Chiefs, I think they do. I think the Lions could be trying to be going back to back right now, and that should haunt the Lions. That should haunt the Lions and dictate some of the moves that they make this season to get the job done. Right? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So that's why I keep calling for the Lions to be aggressive, to make moves, to do things. And again, you can be aggressive without mortgaging your future. Okay? Like it's not this whole all or nothing, right? Did the Chiefs mortgage their future going out to get Hopkins? No, they did not. Right? And so it's like it's you're not always, people assume that if you make a move or that if you're being aggressive, it just means, well, now you're not worrying about tomorrow, and it's just not true. So I'm really curious to see what else they do by the trade deadline, how they improve, how realistic it is that Aidan gets to come back for the Super Bowl, if they reach the Super Bowl. It's kind of hard to gauge, quite frankly, but I know he'll be doing everything he possibly can to get back, although the reality is with a bone injury like that, there's only so much you can do. I mean, like, he can get, be conditioned and be in shape, but at the end of it, the bone itself just has to heal, right? It has to, solidify, calcify. It has to go through that healing process that's a little bit different with some of these other injuries. Broken bones are largely just kind of weight, right? That's why you cast them, but a tendon injury you don't cast necessarily. So it's a different recovery process that a lot of the stuff will be out of his control, especially when compared to other injuries. So Lions are obviously riding high, and when you're looking around the league and seeing other teams just not look anywhere near as, I mean, look at this: 41 or 42 points, 47, 31, 52. It's just their punch is so massive. So massive. This is the Lions' year. You got to get the job done. You got to get the job done. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions trading for Smith? Do you think they need to do more? Do you think they're good as they are right now? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.